Good to see you.
Well, Merab, over here.
Yes.
Obviously, we just saw you in January, and since then, you've done a lot of media since then ahead of this fight. So I guess just how's life been and how's camp been since that win over Umar back in January?
Life's been very good. Like always, I'm just grateful for everything. After Umar fight, lots of things changed, and I think I get so much respect. I always get respect before, but like after this fight, like it's just been more positive, more cool, and everybody recognized my hard work, and I'm just grateful for UFC and grateful for MMA fans because of UFC and because of MMA fans, I have the best job in the world. I love my job. I enjoy what I do, and I have another. I'm just every time I have another fight, I'm just blessed and I'm grateful, and I'm in my dream.
I was going to ask, because you did a couple, even before the Umar fight, you would do the Q&As in Abu Dhabi, you would do all these interviews, and it was always Umar, and people were maybe even labeling him the uncrowned champion. So you kind of touched upon it, but what has been the fan reception and the media reception since you did defeat Umar? Are they actually putting respect on your name now?
Yes, I guess people wanted to see this fight, and now once they see, now they move on quick. And since that, it's just been very positive. Every time UFC offered me Umar, I say yes, and it was no problem to fight Umar just under contract. I was with MMA fans and some what's they called some drama people and stuff. It's like I always. I don't like how they ask me, and I don't like how Umar was acting, But of course, at UFC, I say yes to. I was ready for fight, and since that there is no drama and everything is good.
Do you like this build up to Sean now? Because it's been pretty respectful between you two. He even was in here and said he called you the best bantamweight ever. If anyone can fight 4 times in 1 year, it's you. So it's been very respectful between you and Sean, this build up.
Yeah, of course. Listen, most important is just show up, fight day, and then fight. And that's we don't have to have a drama if it's not organic, if it's not real, I like it because now, when you look, O'Malley is best deserving contender for now, because Corey Sandhagen just fight. He's just coming from new win. Yeah, I think he's maybe next, but before I guess Peter fighting somebody else, and then no one. It was no one. So I guess me and Sean. That's what UFC wanna book, and of course I was ready for whoever. And just this is cool. Just respect each other. I respect him as a fighter, and so it's nice to hear from him to respect for me too. To be honest, I'd rather he still talking trash. It will be so much better, because So, but it's all good. This is good how this fight's built. I'm good, man. We just have to focus fight, and then. This fight will be much better because this time no excuse. This time, I get much better, and then I'm gonna looking for finish.
Well, you kind of touched upon it. No excuses. You won. His coach has said he had a bad hip and the lighting was weird. Chael Sonnen said he was being pulled in these directions. Sean's made a lot of lifestyle changes. So, did those excuses bother you at all after that fight? And how soon did you want to fight Sean to kind of prove that I was just the better man no matter what?
No, after the fight, O'Malley said, even he said in his interview, even when my mom asked me what was wrong with you, I tell him nothing. I just lost the fight, and then the excuse started a couple of days later. But yeah, so I just wanna give him another chance, another. That's what the UFC wants, and then I think he he's dangerous because when I was fighting him and it was first time so easy, and my thought was how this guy can beat Aljamain Sterling, because I training with Aljamain Sterling and he make me humble every time I training with him. So, but that's why the O'Malley is dangerous, and I recognize that. And I cannot relax any fight with him. Even if we fight 10 times, I have to still treat him as a dangerous guy.
We saw a video of you training with John Wood at Syndicate, and his phrase was he wants you to turn the fun into a finish. That's what he wants to see you doing there. So how does Merab do that? How do you turn the showboating and the fun into a finish in the octagon?
Yeah, so I think this time I will be more focused for finish and more focused for damage. Yeah, like, I first fight when it was too easy and I was too relaxed there, and I see everything, I control everything, and I did kiss him. I did make fun of him, but this time, so I'm gonna focus more. Like finish. That's what we was working on, and that's what I'm looking for.
And just looking forward to. Last one for me. It's one thing to fight 4 times a year as a contender in 3-round fights, but to fight 4 or 5 times a year as a champion, that's 4 or 5 5-round fights. How do you combat burnout and just exhaustion from just constantly preparing for these title fights?
I love training and I love fighting. Everybody who knows, I always training. Even I am in vacation, I'm still running. I'm still doing my best. And like I said before, every time I have a fight in UFC, I'm blessed, and that's what I love. I'm just happy to be busy, happy to have a best job in the world to fight. Hopefully we're gonna switch the weight cut style. I'm gonna after this fight 1 month later, I wanna just test weight cut, like new style. I wanna ask UFCPI help, like with John Wood, and I'm still doing a kind of my style, like my old style weight cut. And if we find there is more easy way than how every fighter is doing, like new style weight cuts, and then I will be even more happier to fight.
What's the current style, like the old style you're using? I followed the beginning, I drink like 5-liter water like a couple of days, and then I still go my old style. So since last night I stopped drinking water, I stopped eating, and today of course no eat, no drink, and on a hard working session tonight. Hopefully I can cut 4 pounds, and then tomorrow I have to cut like 4 or 5 pounds again. So usually what every fighter does, last day, which is Thursday, they cut 10 pounds. But me, I split those 10 pounds to 2 days, but I don't eat and I don't drink last 2 days, and that's how I cut weights. So, and then if we test and if it works for me and how they do also, they sit in hot tub or they sit in sauna blanket, or sauna, and they cut 10 pounds there. But me, I split 10 pounds to 2 days, and I usually run or work out. That's how I cut last 10 pounds. So, and if we figure it out, then it will be this test weight cuts easy, and if it works for me, and I'm gonna keep it, and I will be even more happier.
Rob, right here. You're on a 12-fight winning streak right now, and the only people in UFC history that have won 13 fights in a row or more are Anderson Silva, Islam Makhachev, Kamaru Usman, George St. Pierre, John Jones, Demetrius Johnson, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and Max Holloway. What would it mean to you to be in that very elite group?
Wow, this is big, and yeah, this is another motivation for me. Uh, this is great. But I'm just gonna focus for my next fight, like I was before, and then we, God willing, win this fight, and yeah, lots of records, lots of. New history will made. This is good, I mean, it means a lot, just to mention my names with these guys. I'm grateful.
Yeah, and I know you said you're kind of maybe going to be willing to take some more risks in this fight compared to the last one because you felt it was easy against Sean. Someone might say it took you so long to get to the belt and so much work, right? Why would you take any additional risks? Because, well, Sean got the immediate rematch here against you. People wonder if maybe you would get that same opportunity if you were in that spot.
One more time, please.
Why would you take as many risks in this fight or more risks than you need to when it took you so long to get to the belt? And if it doesn't go your way, you might not get the immediate rematch like Sean O'Malley did.
Yeah, I understand, but no problem. I don't mind to give him this fight back or chance, take a risk. I'm a fighter. Every fight is risk, and life is risk, and you gotta. I don't. That's good for me. I mean, even if, hey, everything can happen in the fight. I may lose if they don't give me much. I don't give a shit. I just wanna fight, and I just wanna be busy. And but work we put in and shape I am. I believe I can beat this guy again one more time, and I'm looking for beat him even dominate ways. And yeah, so actually the how dangerous he is, it excites me more.
Merab, over here. Your best friend Aljamain Sterling is here. Do you get more nervous when you fight or when he fights?
It's always like this when your friend is fighting, you nervous more. But also same time, I know how good Aljamain Sterling is, and I'm also very comfortable every time he's fighting, and I'm very stuff like this. But when I fight, I'm not nervous. Are all just weight cut is always my number one thing. Once I make weight, everybody will see how happy I am after and fight. I'm just go there and do my thing.
And it looks like you're learning a lot of good style from Aljamain Sterling. You got the green suit on. You got any sponsors you want to shout out?
Yes, I learned so much from Aljamain Sterling. Yes, most important is fight technique and wrestling technique and good, fight stuff. But yeah, I learned how to dress from Aljamain. It's classic. Yeah, I have of course good sponsors like this watch from Georgia called Tsikolia, which is good, and shout out to all my sponsors and shout out to all the sponsors who's willing to sponsor athletes, and thank you guys. And
Merab, over here. How do you see the rematch with Sean coming? He will try to avoid the taking downs. Do you think it's going to be this time again 5 rounds, or maybe you could finish it before?
I'm ready for hard fight. I'm expecting best Sean O'Malley and best shape ever, and like I said before, I'm looking for finish, but if I have to beat the share of him in 5 rounds, I'm ready to do that too.
Also, you mentioned Corey Sandhagen. After you win this fight, maybe to Sean O'Malley, he will be the next for you. He asked for the opportunity before.
Yes, right now, clear contender looks like it's Corey Sandhagen, especially we never fought each other. He is he has a good style, good fighter. He has a lot of win. He beat a lot of good guys in this division, and I'm sure MMA fans wants to see this fight. But most important is what UFC wants, And I am champion now, and whoever UFC will give me, I will fight the next contender, next best guy in division.
And last one, Merab, most people in social media said that the less risky thing that you do is fighting, because you always do a lot of risky things in your personal life. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I agree with this. In every fight, I never get hurt. I hurt myself when it was my second fight when I was fighting Ricky Simon, and I take him down and I landed in my head and knock myself out. That was only fight I get damaged. Every other fight, as you guys saw, I'm usually fresh and just little scratches. But usually after the fight, I'm healthy and injury free. But even outside, I do lots of crazy stuff, especially if I'm in nature. Something animal wakes up on me, but. Most injuries I get in training,
Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Merab, right over here. There's been a recent addition to the bantamweight roster. Of course, Patchy Mix is now in the UFC, and I know for you, you've spent a lot of time in the gym with him, especially in Las Vegas, on the mats and stuff like that. What do you think about him being in the UFC now, and how he fares in this division?
Patchy Mix is a great fighter, and yes, we're training a lot. He's one of the best, and I respect him. I'm happy for him he's in UFC right now, and I wish him all the best. It's good for UFC, good for division. We have another top fighter in this division. It's good. He told me he was coming UFC, and we talk about this. It's even we are cool, we are friends, we are training together. It's not like same like it was between me and Aljo. And if the times comes that we will fight each other, it's nothing personal. He's fighting for his family, I'm fighting for my family and my team, and that's all good. And I wish him good luck to his fight, and hopefully I'm gonna win this fight against Sean O'Malley, and we'll see from there.
And this could be a big month for Georgian MMA, with you defending your belt this weekend, and then later this month you'll have Ilya fighting for the vacant belt. What would it mean to you to be the spark of such a big moment for the Georgian community?
Man, this will be everything for me to just win another time for my country in UFC. Of course, every time I fight UFC is blessed, and then especially, now we are even. I'm sure my win will motivate Ilya and other UFC fighters again. Just another reason to why I have to win this fight.
And last for me, Sean hasn't fought since the original matchup, and of course you have. He's had a lot of a lot of time to prepare for only you. What do you expect from Sean this fight around, and do you see him doing anything differently than he did in the first fight?
Yes, like he said, he should be 70% better, because he quit lots of stuff. He quit social media. He quit smoking weed, and I'm sure he was more focused wrestling, getting better knockout power, and I want to test all that. And I'm ready for best version of Sean O'Malley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over here, Pantoja's a very dominant champion at flyweight. If he moves up to try to become the double champ, is that a fight you are open to?
Yes, he's respectful champion, and if he moves up and UFC let him fight for the belt, no problem. I'm a champion now, and I will fight whoever UFC choose to me fight.
My other question is, like you said, Sean O'Malley has talked about quitting smoking and adopting a healthier lifestyle recently. Do you think these changes will affect how he competes against you in the octagon?
I was talk all that in Aljo's podcast, everything about this. Sometimes you can be best shape, but you can still lose the fight. Sometimes all this doesn't matter. But of course, it helps. You have to do your best always in your training camp. And most important is he's very humble now, and I think these things will help him. It looks so humble for me, because first fight when we have a face-off or every time we met, he was always just give the disrespect me. He looked me on top, like he was thinking he was better than me. And I'm sure all these changes will help him.
Yeah, last question. Do you believe you humbled him?
He seems more humble than he was before my fight.
Thank you.
Merab, you've kind of opened up about obviously this broken toe, and you kind of tend to have injuries going into these fights. I wonder, are you feeling better going into this one than you were going into the Umar fight? Because I know there was some pretty serious injuries going into that one as well.
Yeah, this training camp is 10 times easier than Umar's fight. Umar's fight, I was seriously injured. Like my back was, I don't know how, fucked up. Like, sorry for words, and my leg was also like not good, and infection and stuff like this. And then in training was very challenging for me. But this time, no problem. I was able to training every day, a couple of times a day, and I did my best in training camp. Now, like I said, I mentioned before, now it's like weight cut process. It's always same, mind game, and I am so much better than my last fight.
The weight cut is something that you're concerned more with than actually having a broken toe?
Say one more time?
You're more concerned with the weight cut than having a broken toe?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. Weight cut is always a challenge.
Obviously, this is a place that means a lot to you, like this part of the world. And I know that this is kind of where the story with Sean all began, because I know this was where Aljo had his first face-off with Sean in the Octagon and everything. Would it feel right to sort of finish the whole story with Sean O'Malley in this building?
We have, of course, so much story and so much stuff, but I'm just focused of good fight Saturday night and just show my skills, show my, show good fight people, show people what they deserve. I think it's gonna be a good fight, and like I mentioned before, make him humble again. It's a fight. Everything can happen. Not always best fighter wins, and I'm gonna make sure not happening this time. I believe I'm better than Sean O'Malley, and I gotta make sure I have to do my job best, and I want to beat him. That's it.
The last one, as an opponent, where does he rank in terms of the best guys? You fought, I think, 4 world champions. Where does he rank among the best opponents you fought?
Right now, he's my next opponent, and every time I fight somebody, I have to treat him as a best challenge, and he's my next one again, and he's the best guy now. He's in best shape, and he wants to knock me out. So, right now I'm gonna put him as number 1 because he's my next one. Thank you.
What's up, guys?
I'm sure there's a lot of things going on emotionally heading into this fight, but I'm curious for you, what is the most important thing here? Getting the title back or beating Merab and proving you can beat him?
Beating Merab, 100%. Like, I wanted even if Merab would have lost to Umar, like, part of me just wanted the Merab fight back. So, the Merab for sure.
Is part of that because you feel like you came pretty close to actually beating him first time round, and it's just a couple of little adjustments that'll make the difference?
No, it's just losing. Like, after the first Cheeto fight, like, I wanted that fight back so bad, but I was like, I knew I'd get it back eventually. It had to make sense, timing. This one's the same thing. It's just like, I just got to get that one back.
It's funny, I feel like the narrative's somewhat changing about your first fight. After the first fight, everyone's like, oh, Merab washed him, it was an easy win for Merab. But now people are going back and rewatching it and realizing it was a little closer, especially that 5th round. What do you feel about that first fight, and what do you think people were missing in the moment to not realize it was actually that close?
Yeah, I think the second and fourth round were so dominant for him. It just kind of took over the whole fight, which I totally get. Like, I analyze my fights more than anybody, so after I rewatched it, I was like, well, that was a lot closer than people thought. But it doesn't matter if it's close, if you lose. So, yeah, I'm planning on this one not being so close.
You talked about the changes you've made in your personal life, lack of social media and all that stuff. How do you feel that will actually play into the performance on Saturday, if at all?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I feel just overall and a lot. And I never felt like I was in a bad place or sad place or dark place. I always felt pretty good. But I always felt like I could feel better. So I think whether it helps the performance or not, like, I feel better. So that's all that matters.
Physically, I think there was like a video going around of you on crutches a while back there and stuff like that. How much better do you feel for this fight than you were the first time around with Merab?
You say crotch?
Crutches.
Oh, crutch. Like, there's a video going on my crotch. That's not good. Crutches for no. It's yeah. I feel a lot better. A lot better this fight. This whole camp's been a lot better.
Nice. Is your father in your corner for this fight?
Yeah. Dad's in the corner. His 60th birthday. That'd probably be the coolest gift I could give him. So he's pumped.
Does that just make it all a little bit extra special? Just have him there, or?
It does. It'll be cool. He gets nervous before the fight, so it'll be kind of, for me, it'll be kind of funny to watch him in the back, and because all the boys, all the corner, like, we've been through this so many times. Like, we're very calm in the back. It's just, another Saturday night for us, but for him, it'll be funny to watch him pretend to be calm. He'll just be like,
best of luck.
Sean over here. Outside of all the changes you said you've made to your life, but you had a new son, you saw your daughter get her first stripe, you're building a house. So I guess just outside of the stuff that people have been asking you about, just how's life been in general since that first fight?
been good. Nothing to complain about. Had a healthy baby boy a couple weeks ago. Hey, that's just like all this stuff is fun, and I get to do this. Like this is all good, but it's like that Sunday rolls around. It's like back to being dad, back to the family. So that's all this provides to be able to live the life we get to live, and I'm super grateful for it. But yeah, it's puts it in perspective what life's all about.
That line you said you were too attached to that Sugar character that was on the countdown. Is that why you didn't dye the hair or anything for this fight, or you just didn't want to sit down for it?
I just didn't want to sit down for it. I love the pink hair. It's fun, but it's a process, and I was just kind of. I thought bringing back the OG hair would be pretty cool too. I think last time I had this was Jose Quinones. The first time I did my hair was June 6, 2020, so almost 5 years ago to the day, and. Yeah, so it was pretty crazy. I thought bringing back the OG hair was cool.
Tim's done some interviews. He said, the lighting was weird. Chael said that you were pulled in all these different directions and just all these distractions and everything. But in other interviews, you seem to kind of stop yourself when you could give excuses. You kind of stop yourself. It's in the past. I just kind of want to. It is what it is. I think is what you say. So it feels like. What is that like? Like you could give excuses, but you just kind of stop yourself from kind of doing that.
Oh no, my hip was my excuse. I've been saying that. I had a torn labrum. It's like, I walked into that cage confident. I was going to beat Merab. I don't regret walking into that cage. He beat me. It is what it is. My performance wasn't as, I rewatched it. There was things I could have done better, but in the cage that night I felt good. I just didn't prepare the way I was supposed to because I wasn't able to. It wasn't because I was fucking around doing other things. I was still at a good camp, disciplined, weight was good, everything was good, just wasn't able to do what you need to be able to do to fight someone like Merab.
And Javier Mendez gave an interview after Umar's loss. He said Merab just knows how to win by whether it's showboating or just holding people against the fence and making it look like he's dominating when you said it's a lot closer than maybe people think. So how is that an accurate kind of description of how Merab wins? Like he just kind of knows how to squeak out these wins.
I mean, he's definitely a master at getting in positions and kind of doing enough to make it look like he's. I mean, the win streak he's on, you can't talk too much shit about it. He's crazy win streak, beating the best guys. He's winning. That's all that matters.
And then there was a video of you going on. I think it was on your YouTube channels. You were watching the rematch between Nate and Conor. Was that just a coincidence? Because even Conor seemed to pick up on it on Twitter.
I've been just watching a bunch of fights lately. I don't know. Just been watching a bunch of fights.
And last one for me. Mario's welcoming Patchy Mix to the UFC. What do you make of that fight? And Patchy not only coming into the UFC, but facing against Mario.
Yeah, Patchy adding to the bantamweight is sweet. Makes the bantamweight division even that much sweeter. Fighting Mario's tough. He's super tough. I know he got a lot of shit for that Jose Aldo fight, but he's on a tear. Mario is legit, very, very high level, very skilled. I'm excited for that fight.
Sean over here. Any chance you could move the water bottle out of the way? Appreciate it. A lot of talk about these changes, obviously. Like, how much of that is tied into what you feel you need out of a result? Like, are you just happy that you've made positive things in your life and it's completely unrelated to whether you win or lose this fight?
What was your question? Sorry.
Just all like kind of the changes you made. Did you make those working towards a different result, or is all these things separate in terms of like the man you're trying to be and the fighter you're trying to be?
Like I said before, I've always felt like I'm a happy person, but I was like, my life is everything's so perfect. I should be even a little bit. I should be more happy. Like, what can I take away to add to my happiness, to my peace? And it was just take away distractions, and that was for me as a person, not necessarily as an athlete, and want to be a better fighter. All that stuff will make me a better fighter, but it wasn't necessarily for that.
Gotcha. I was talking to Dominic Cruz about all that stuff going on. He said he feels this is going to give longevity to your career, probably more so than maybe other lifestyle choices would have. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm 30 right now. I feel like we haven't got to see me in my prime. This might be the first fight in my prime, but I want to stick around as long as possible, and longevity is on my mind every day.
Do you feel like you have to knock Merab out in this fight, or do you see options for submission or decision?
I feel like I can win this fight in any which way, and we'll see Saturday night.
Yeah, and if you get that belt back, do you feel like this is a trilogy that would need to be completed, or would you kind of look at other options out there?
Definitely possible. I like having options. I like it's nice to be able to have options after a fight, so that's possible.
Yeah, and just last one, Merab said he wants to have 4 title defenses this year. He's already talking about having 2 more after you. Do you feel like he is giving you your appropriate respect and focus going into this rematch?
I can't tell you what that dude's thinking. I don't know if he knows what he's thinking. 4 is crazy. I mean, if anyone could do it, he ain't going to be able to get it done Saturday night, so no. But someone like that could fucking bust out 4 in a year.
Sean, right back here.
Sean, over here. After you win your fight against Merab, if you win, what are your plans? Training with Adesanya is something that you will keep?
Izzy was just in Arizona. He hit me up. I said, pull up to the gym, hang out, and that was super cool. We live very far apart, so probably won't train with him much more, but, just back to work.
And who is next? Do you have someone in mind? Maybe Cory Sanhagen?
Like I said, the Merab trilogy could be there. Peter Yan rematch could be there. Corey could be there. There's so many options after this fight, but pointless talk about until maybe Sunday rolls around. We can answer that.
And is it possible that maybe in the future, if the UFC fans asks for it, we'll see the Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera trilogy?
Did you see that last fight? Probably not.
Okay, thank you.
Sean, the last time you came off a loss was when you finished Thomas Almeida and you went on that crazy streak to become champion. During this camp, did you ever reflect on those times, think about what it took to kind of buckle down and do what you did there and prepare to do something similar?
No, I definitely, the Thomas Almeida fight was one of my favorite performances, one of my favorite knockouts. So, coming off that loss and coming back to that performance, definitely, I've watched that fight back a few times and would love to Thomas Almeida Merab.
And I respect the life changes that you made, and I'm assuming that they helped you in other ways other than your professional MMA career. Did you feel refined, healthier in other aspects of your life? And if so, what were they?
I just feel more slowed down. Like life's just a little bit slower in a good way.
Thank you.
Is like kind of on that same note, do you feel like maybe you're able to be more present with especially your family now that you're kind of maybe not distracted with that persona, that this Sean persona?
100%.
What in what ways? Like, are you just doing more things with your family, or like, how does this kind of manifest?
I just feel like I'm not, you catch yourself, even if I catch myself driving, like kind of surfing Instagram, like, what the fuck am I doing? Just like catch myself and doing stuff like that, or like playing with my daughter, surfing X, like what am I doing here? So I feel like it just, limiting those distractions, definitely more present with the family, with training, with friends, just in general.
And it just seems like in general, you got your father in your corner. You're talking about a lot better times with your children and that kind of thing. Do you just feel like you've grown a lot closer to your family, especially now that you're 30?
I enjoyed my 20s. 20s were good. I feel like 30 was time to really grow up, and I'm very happy with how my 20s played out. I was able to stay dialed. I stayed disciplined. I was always focused. I never was lacking in fight camps, and never was an issue. Just now I feel like I'm just evolving.
Do you think you would have gotten there if maybe that fight in September didn't go the way it did, if you'd won that fight?
Yeah, I do. I do think I would have gotten there because I've wanted to do that for a long time. I think that just kind of either pushed it forward, but I do think I would eventually have gotten to this spot. But, you never know.
And then one more question about the fight itself, the fact that this is a rematch. You're no stranger to rematches now. How much do you kind of, especially from your first experience with Cheeto and everything, how much do you draw upon the fact that you've had time in the cage with this person to be able to help you in this case?
Yeah, I mean, we both had 25 minutes together, so if it helps me, it helps him. But he didn't get the best version of me, so I don't know if he's overlooking me. I don't think he is. I think he knows this is a tough fight. But yeah, I feel like I got a good version of Merab. I think he's in his prime right now. He's had the best performance of his life against Umar. But I don't think he got the best version of me, so I think I can surprise him.
Actually, one more question. I mean, we've seen you kind of have some fun in the cage, too. You like to whip out the basketball moves and that kind of thing. Are we still going to see that if you're feeling it, or is that kind of past now?
It just comes out when it comes out. I don't plan that shit.
Okay, thank you.
Just to kind of play off the theme here, I guess, when you gave up these things, you said you were more present, but did you pick up any, like, new hobbies? Did you start maybe reading more? I mean, was there anything that to pass the time?
Definitely been playing some poker.
Okay.
Poker with the boys is a hell of a time. It's pretty much it. Other than that, everything else is just a little poker.
Was there one that was harder to quit than the others? What's your full list of changes? I mean, what's your list, and which one was maybe the hardest one to give up?
They were all, I haven't had an issue with any of them. It was just like I'm just done with them. Now we're here.
That's gaming, social media. Anything else?
No, that's about it.
All right, over here. Last time I asked you about Dana White privilege. Do you think that concept still plays a role in how fighters get opportunities in the UFC?
I don't know. You have to ask Dana that, but they see potential in people, and if you give the UFC opportunity to if you go get some sweet knockouts, they're gonna post them. It's gonna be all over. You do some sweet shit, they're gonna post it. They can't make that shit up. That shit I did. Like, I've earned where I'm at, and super grateful for the UFC.
Yeah. One other question. Your coach Tim Welch recently said Merab is the best bantamweight of all time. Do you also believe that?
I do. Yeah, Merab's the best bantamweight. I think Aljo was at the time I beat him, and I think Merab is right now too.
All right, thank you.
Sean, obviously this McGregor thing kind of blew up online, and you watching the Diaz fight. I wonder, what do you gauge?
I haven't seen it, to be honest.
Right. Oh, well, of course you're not on social media. But what do you gauge when you watch that fight? Because I can't think of it as being like a particularly similar matchup stylistically or anything to this rematch between you and Merab.
But so I was watching a Conor Nate. I don't know what you're talking about. But I want to tell me what.
No, but basically, this footage of you watching the Conor Nate rematch. Like you mentioned, you've been watching a lot of fights. What is it that you gauge from watching that fight in particular? I mean, it doesn't seem like a super similar fight to this one coming up on Saturday.
No, yeah, I just been watching a bunch of fights. I didn't even know there was something. We just have cameras recording so much. I didn't realize that was a moment that got captured. I've been watching a bunch of fights. Been watching some rematches. Watched Chuck versus Randy, which I've never watched Chuck Liddell fights. Like obviously I knew who he was, but I've been watching a lot of old school fights. It's been cool. But yeah, I've always taken inspiration from Conor fights. I watch Conor fights more probably than my fights more, but I've watched a lot of Conor fights. But what did Conor say?
Well, he was very complimentary. He was basically comparing the way you're preparing for this fight to how he prepared for Nate too, and it seems as though the relationship's back on track between you two.
Hell yeah, I'll take it.
Are you happy about that? Like obviously I know it's been rocky with you two, but it seems like now all good again.
I'll forever be a huge Conor fan. I feel grateful to be able to watch his come up like in my generation. Like I watched it happen. So I think we'll look back. I mean, he had one of the craziest careers. So it's cool to be able to watch it happen. While I was getting into the UFC and everything. So yeah, I'm pumped that the relationship's back to good.
And last thing, you've had a pretty star-studded kind of camp, and people talked about Izzy before, and I know that Demetrius Johnson was over as well. How much I'd imagine DJ probably you can gauge a bit more because he's more your size and someone who can better replicate probably what Merab can do. But how much does it benefit having sort of A-list names like that in the camp?
Yeah, I think it's cool just for the guys that train at the gym. You see Israel Adesanya come in and take class, and you see Demetrius come in rolling the gi. Like it's just super inspiring to everybody. It was inspiring to me to see how humble they are and wanting to continue to learn. It was both we trained one session with both of them. It wasn't like, hey, what do you think? What should I do? Hey, like do this for Merab. Like it wasn't like that. It was more just kind of random, but it was really really cool.
Oh, and also, do you know what's going to happen with your mate Schmitty after the fight? Is he going to get into the after party?
I got a jet home at 3 a.m., brother. There's no after party this time. I'm going straight home.
Thank you.
Sean, over here. Looking back at your previous fight, is there a specific thing that you have learned that you think that will be crucial for this fight against Merab, the rematch?
I go with this kind of mindset every fight. It's like every time I fight someone, most of the time, it's like for them to take me down. Like, don't let him touch me. Don't let him touch me. If he doesn't touch me, I win the fight. So it's the same mindset I went in with Aljo.
I just saw a video of you and your team doing this atmosphere of the fight. Whose idea was this? It was something to motivate you or to manage the pressure of this rematch?
Yeah, no, it's Tim. Tim said, hey, we started training later in the afternoon. We've never sparred that late, so we just did a whole simulation, kind of the walkout, stood in the cage, waited for a little bit, and yeah, just simulating it, kind of visualizing it.
You are known as being a finisher on the first round. You have also a good records on this division, but also Merab is being known for his gas tank. He is going for the 5 rounds. Do you think this could go to the decision, or are you looking for finishing on the first rounds?
I would not be surprised if I finished him. I wouldn't be surprised if we went 25. I'm prepared for it to be a war.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, guys.